So they wanted us to have some type of competition. I see that you've got your new $10,000 suit. So we won't do a push-up competition.
The Pepsi Blue.
If we tried to do an arm wrestling competition, you'd snap my elbow. But
Yes.
will you do a thumb wrestling competition to settle the strength
I'm so down right now. Let's do
matchup
it.
once and for all? We need a referee.
I got you. So this
Are
is
we
the
1,
first
2, 3,
annual.
boom?
Absolutely.
These are the rules. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war. Go.
Go. Okay.
Those are the rules. All right, we got to get it right in the middle. This is the first annual
Well, he's
thumb
kinda little. We gotta hold
wrestling
it lower here so
competition.
you can see his
Here we
face.
go. Count it off.
1,
2, 3, 4.
I declare thumb war.
Here we go. Saquon. Elusive. Whoa.
Oh, give me a count.
Okay.
Oh,
Hold on. 1. No. Joe trying to use the rope-a-dope.
Oh, I got him.
I don't know what that
ref,
wrist action is.
He's
All right, we're
pulling
gonna have to call
away.
this.
He's
We're gonna
pulling away.
call
Oh, it's a
this.
tie. It's a tie. Hey.
Who is the best athlete rapper that you've ever heard? Or are you like a hard pass on athlete rap?
No, I'm not a hard pass on athlete rapper. I'm actually a big fan of Beasley. I think his lyrics and his words and everything that he goes at is different, and I think it's amazing. I mean, just to hear him rap and not be able to cut sometimes and rap about how I'm showing my kids the right way and to ignore the world I'm a big fan of that. So I don't know, man. I don't know if he has much competition in the athlete rapping world. I mean, Shaq. I like Shaq. I mean, hey.
You like Shaq?
I like Shaq. I mean,
Dak,
he's a DJ.
I'm gonna
I
have
like
to
Shaq.
hard pass on Shaq as a rapper. Where are we on face tats? Are you
Never.
never get a face tat?
I'm not my neck either.
No neck.
no
Yeah.
face.
Everything else is on, like from the foot up. If it's not the neck
I
or the
won't.
face.
I won't put anything on my foot.
Okay.
But from the ankle up, fair game.
game.
Fair game.
Open canvas.
Who on your team has the worst tattoo?
That's
The worst.
damn good question, Joe.
I won't put his name out
Yeah, we don't
there.
have to. We don't have to
we
put
don't
him on
have to do
blast. No
JJ
snitches on
Watt.
us.
And it's one of those tattoos you only can see like when you're getting in the shower. I'm sure that's the only time you saw his.
Yep.
And he had I thought it was I think it had a picture. It was SpongeBob, but it was like this big. It was on.
That's
his,
what you should get
It
hot.
was on his
SpongeBob
ass though.
on his ass.
On his ass?
Hit you with the hard-hitting question that everybody wants to know. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
so.
Thank you.
How is that even possible?
Team ghosts.
Like, I feel like you guys are saying that like flat earthers. Like, oh yeah, the earth is flat. I know it's not true, but I'm
Listen.
saying it for the reaction.
No, it's not even that, man. It might be. I can't definitively say there's no ghost, so I'm going to go with maybe
I'm
there
with
is.
you. I'm a ghost guy myself.
Were you guys nervous going into your first opportunity because you were making history?
Yes.
in calling that
Pretty
game?
so
as the first
terrified.
all-female
Our first
duo?
game,
Yeah.
our first game was obviously a Thursday. So Tuesday night, I don't think I've actually said this to anybody, except for
Exclusive on the
except for
podcast.
exclusive.
Here we
go.
Exclusive.
Breaking news! Breaking news! And I think Hannah knows this. My husband comes home from work on Tuesday, and I go, "Here, come here, I got to talk to you." I started to cry. I've never done that. The anxiety of this isn't just something new.
Right, I mean, you were
This
breaking
is-
through the glass ceiling.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And it was very nerve-wracking. And it's the other thing, until you do it, you just don't know that you can. And we'd done some demo games. I mean, after the first demo game, after the first half of the first demo game, I turned to Hannah and I go, "We can do this."
Yeah.
interesting thing is Larry is such a quiet guy.
Yeah.
You know, that he's become more boisterous after I left and he's become the leader of the team. So I could share a lot of different stories with you about Larry. I'll tell you what, I'll tell this one. This one is one that I love.
Yeah,
Is that,
beautiful.
so I was in Arizona for 4 or 5 days. And, when I got, signed by them, and, Larry obviously was the young star and the guy that was built around. So I invited him over for dinner after 3 or 4 days of practice, and he came over. Let's just have a nice dinner. Let me get to know him a little bit. And, of course, me being the competitor, and it's all about football, that somewhere along the way, I'm like, I got to ask him about practice the other day.
All right, so these players.
My wife's giving me like, do not
Come on,
go
man.
there.
Yeah,
Just,
right.
this is a nice
So
dinner.
I put a couple of clips up while we eat. Just
But
I just
but I
happen to have
remember,
this, TV right
talking
here.
to Larry, and
It's
I'm
Cowboy.
like, hey, Larry, you remember in practice the other day, you ran this route, and I'm like, if you just did this on the release, and then I think, you could become really, really good at this. And I remember him kind of looking back at me, and he kind of smiled. He goes, Kurt, I'm pretty good right now. Kind of like, I'm the last person here you need to worry about.
My son, who is now 7, is a huge Mohamed Sanu fan, as the world knows. I kicked him out of the house when he was 3,
And he came to my house.
and he went to live with Sanu for a
Yes.
little bit. Your son,
Yep, Jay.
are you his favorite player, or does he like other players in the league?
I'm his favorite player,
but his other favorite player is Julio.
Julio.
Oh.
So I think if you weren't around and they asked him who was his favorite player, he would say Julio.
Yeah, he would just be like, "Oh, Dad, there goes Julio."
He doesn't view you as a player. He views
no,
you
he
as
as Dad. Yeah.
So there's that disconnect there.
Yeah. Did you have a car that had like cartoon characters on it or something like that?
You talk about the old schools, the Chevys. That's a staple for those that are from Miami. They're called Donks, or it's a Chevy Caprice 71 to 75. I had one of those. I remember that. Shrek, matter of fact, it was a Shrek one.
So you had Shrek painted on the outside?
The Shrek on the outside and with all the characters from the movie.
How did you pick Shrek?
But I was trying to think of what everyone else in Miami had and tried to
do something different.
Yeah.
Tell me this. You went to junior college with Ocho Cinco, which is like my favorite fun fact about both of you, because again, you're my two favorite receivers. Is there any stories of you being with Ocho at JUCO or anything like? What was it like to know how your personalities are now?
We clashed.
Clashed? That makes sense.
We clashed immediately because he's a Florida guy.
Ah.
I'm a West Coast guy.
You're a West Coast guy.
He was on the West Coast talking about Florida. Bro, if it's that great,
why are you here?
Exactly. So Florida, in LA. We clashed, but it was one of those things. It was more of a regional thing, less of like I disliked him, he disliked me. It was just more of just like that personality. Like, bro, you from Florida, bro. You here?
You here? It can't be that great. You need us.
Exactly. So it was good though. It was a fun time, and it was one of those things. We were young. We had no idea. All we knew is we wanted to get to the league. That's it.
Yeah.
And this was our vessel. This was a pit stop, and that's kind of how we treated it. But there was also a fantastic coach who was there from about 1973 till he passed in about 2008. That's Robert Taylor. He coached, notably he coached a ton of guys, but he coached Isaac Bruce.
Oh, wow.
He was there that long from 1973. He was assistant and then eventually got the head coaching job in the 80s all the way to 2008. So he coached a lot of men. Yeah. He coached a lot of young men that went in there, a lot of guys who didn't have involving fathers. He was like their father figure to them. And so it was Santa Monica was one of the best. I like to say when I went to college, I took the scenic route. It was the long route because I didn't even take the SAT because I did not believe that I was going to college. And so when I enrolled there, he was like, look, if you want to do this, how are you going to get there? He challenged me about my mind. Wow. And I always remember that, and I owe a lot to him. And so it was a fantastic time. He coached a lot of young men that you don't even know about that got that opportunity.
You decided to not re-sign with the Browns a couple years back. What went into that decision?
I just think it was bad advice. Sometimes you get advice. I wish I would have stayed there. I loved it there. It would have been great playing by you. I know you were chasing that playoff run.
We were trying.
Yeah,
we just came up a little short that last year. Just about 16 games.
We said to bring Hawk back, and we've been good.
We should have brought Hawk back because he did the bullshit. Brett Favre, I'm going to retire so he could go to a great team like the Patriots, and then he quit on the Patriots too. So
you know what?
You're really just a quitter.
But I got a key card out of it. So there's that.
Bron ones, legendary. Shout out to Bron, shout out to St. Vincent St. Mary. Northeast Ohio. Stand
Shout
up.
out to the boss man. That's what we call him.
Shout out to our boss.